Just a Thought Podcast. We are back with another one. Guys, we are back with our mini series. All right. Just Talk Sports. I got my co-host in the building. All right. P Talk Sports. And of course, I'm your host, Ray Swaby. Guys, we got some dope topics today. All right. Guys, we are gonna be talking about, we're gonna be covering the Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua. Of course, we gotta talk about that. We gotta talk about the Islam versus Jack Della Maddalena. And we gotta also talk about the Valentina versus Weili, guys. And we gotta talk about the Eubank Jr. versus Ben Part 2, which is gonna be taking place this evening. And then of course we gotta talk about the NBA, the Clippers, Anthony Davis, what's going on? All right. And then Steph Curry recently leaving Under Armour. Guys, that's something we got to talk about. All right. And then, of course, we introduced to our show last week, Just Heat, giving you a top 5 of any sport. Who knows who we're going to talk about this week? All right. Stay tuned. Yo, what's good, man? How's everything?
Hey, bro, sports world is popping off this week. I mean, how many things do we have to talk about? We got the UFC, we got the boxing. It's popping off, man. Then, as per usual, NBA, NFL. This is what it's like to be a sports fan, man. You get every single week, you get your fix, man. There's something going off, something popping off. Excited to be here. We're talking about it all, bro. Let's go.
Let's go, man, bro. Let's jump into this topic because we talked about this last week a little bit, the cancellation with Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis. This dude Jake Paul found himself another opponent. He found Anthony Joshua, bro. What do you think about this fight, and like what stunt is Jake Paul trying to pull, bro? Because he's going against a dude that knocked out Francis Ngannou last year. Why would you fight a top tier heavyweight?
Hey, real quick, let me give credit to Jake Paul first of all. That's something that happens rarely. But think about this. You go from all these older dudes, all these YouTube boxers, influencers. Everyone was flaming this guy. So listen, I will give him his credit for actually going out there and getting a big fish like Anthony Joshua, AJ. We saw what AJ did to Francis Ngannou, 260-pound heavyweight champion of the UFC. Like, bruh, we saw that. So to willingly put yourself in that position to try go to the shadow realm, I'll give you your credit for that. But AJ is a different breed. This is not Tank Davis. This is not Mike Tyson way over the hill. This is not Tommy Fury. This is not Tyron Woodley. This is AJ Anthony Joshua. I see this guy put away Vladimir Klitschko. I've seen him put away, Ngannou, as we talked about. Dillian White. The who's of the heavyweight division, he's put them away. Jake Paul, I'm sorry, bro. Shadow Realm entry, that's going to be you. If you fight, if he takes on Anthony, yeah, that's where it's going to be.
Bro, Anthony Joshua is a scary human being. He got his revenge too against Ruiz. We saw that second fight. But bro, he's a knockout artist. He knocked out Francis Ngannou in the first round. The first round. How is Jake Paul gonna be able to how is he gonna be able to overcome that? And what round do you got Jake Paul lasting?
Bruh, give me round 1. Because Ngannou made it to round 2. But I'm pretty sure in round 1, he got smacked hard in round 1. And I'm looking at, that's Ngannou, 260 pounds, has fought at the highest of the highs, you know, in terms of mixed martial arts, combat sports, and everything. This is Jake Paul. Again, with all due respect, he's done his thing in the YouTube scene. Anthony Joshua is getting paid $100 million. Anthony Joshua is looking forward to a fight against Tyson Fury, the biggest fight in British boxing history. He's not trying to mess around in there and even make it look like Jake had a chance. Because can you imagine what would happen if Jake lands a couple of punches? He'll say, hey man, I got knocked out, but at least I landed punches on AJ. Nope.
Yeah, I'm not going for that. I'm not going for that.
Quickly, end him quickly.
Bro, let me ask you this. Do you even see this as a good investment for Netflix?
I think so. The only reason I'll say that is because if you just think about this on the side of Anthony Joshua is probably second only to Canelo, the biggest star in all of boxing right now in the world, in my opinion at least. So even if it doesn't go like you have the biggest star in the UK, you have the biggest star in the USA. Again, take this a little bit of face value, but Jake
Okay.
Paul's
Okay.
he's a star. He sells tickets. We all know this.
Yeah.
And AJ, so you've got UK, USA, all that massive audience. Netflix will make so much money. That's why I think this is sort of like a, hey man, even if he knocks him out in a round, we have the biggest star from UK boxing against Jake Paul. We will make our money back. It's okay because a lot of people, I'm not gonna say we, a lot of people don't like Jake Paul. So a lot of people are gonna want to be front row and center to see AJ send him to the Shadow Realm. So they will get their money back for sure.
Yeah, that was a good one. He's gonna be seeing Jesus that night. I'll tell you that.
I promise you.
So is Jake Paul about to face? Can we say the top 25 heavyweights of all time, or is Anthony Joshua no longer in that conversation?
Nah, given what he's done, I'll say he can be in those top 25 heavyweights of all time. And yeah, at age 36 as well, I think when this fight happens, I think he's still at that point in time. Because heavyweights, the last thing that goes is power. And I'm not really worried about AJ taking shots off Jake Paul because, again, if Ngannou couldn't really land on him and Ngannou was, much more experienced than Jake Paul, he'll be fine in that sense. Legacy-wise, I think it's a little bit different to Floyd doing it at the end of his career when he fought Conor McGregor. This is AJ at a point where he still possibly could go out there and try to get a heavyweight title shot. But listen, bro, you only get to do this thing once. If someone offers you $100 million to go knock out a YouTuber,
take it.
I think you'd agree with me here. I would go do that in a heartbeat.
Yeah. I'm knocking Jake Paul out. Yeah. No, I'm not. But if I was Anthony Joshua, yeah.
If I was AJ,
Yeah, I
I
get
would be
that.
doing that, yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing the same thing. All right, so let me ask you this. What did Joshua's last few fights really show his when it comes to his career?
Bruh, that Dubois fight was one of the toughest things I've ever had to see because AJ's a fighter who I liked for a hot minute, man. So to see him go out there against Dubois, because losing to Alexander Usyk to me is probably him and Terence Crawford. I have them tied equal on my pound for pound rankings. So losing to Usyk twice, that's fine. I don't really mind that. But getting knocked out by Daniel Dubois 8 years ago, even 5 years ago, Dubois is getting absolutely sparked clean. I don't care what anyone says. AJ is sparking Dubois clean 5 years ago. So to see him go from where I perceive he was 5 years ago to now losing in that fashion to Dubois, I'm sort of thinking to myself, the end of the line could be here because you have those fights against Usyk. You have the knockout that you took against Ruiz. You have the knockout now that you took against Dubois. You're getting older. I'm a little bit worried. Not worried about him facing Jake Paul, but I'm worried about him when he potentially fights Tyson Fury. That's what I'm worried about. But against Jake Paul, send him to the realm. But I do think AJ is far away from where he was in his peak. He's a lot closer to the end. I think he's got one or two more elite level fights before it's all over for him, I think.
So you think that elite level fight is Tyson Fury? You think that makes sense?
Yeah, I think so. Because I think I'm looking at Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn, who we're about to talk about. They are doing Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, which I think is about 70,000 to 80,000. Tyson Fury and AJ would be at Wembley. It would be the biggest fight in British boxing history, and it wouldn't even be close. Because I think I'm looking at that. You have Tyson Fury, undisputed or unified heavyweight champion of the world. AJ was exactly the same as well. Given what they've both accomplished in the sport, I've seen lesser fighters in the UK sell out Wembley. These guys, every single Wembley record, British boxing record, will be broken when Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury fight. It won't even be close, remotely at all.
Yeah, I think that's the fight that makes sense. Him versus Tyson Fury. I think what also makes sense, possibly if that doesn't go well, I would say him versus Deontay Wilder. They had a kind of a little history. Why not? Why not see that be the last fight we see AJ at his peak? But am I gonna say he's top 25? No, I think he sits outside of the 25. Actually, I just think these last 5 years, man, have I don't know, like he shouldn't have lost to Ruiz. you shouldn't have lost to that. You shouldn't. You should have
Yeah.
trained better for that. And the loss he took to Dubois, I would argue that Dubois has a case when he fought Usyk. I would argue that case. All right, I watched that fight. Out the first fight, I would argue that was a fight. All right,
Hey man,
that was a fight.
below the belt is below. Hey, that's what I'll say. Below the
That
belt is below the belt. Yeah. But
that
I see where
was.
you're
I
coming from. I see where
mean,
you're coming from. I see where you're coming from.
but I don't like. I can't put AJ in the top 25. He had a great career. I think he has a chance to even like make his career more valid. I don't think Jake Paul is it. Yes, go get the 100 mil, whatever. But I think AJ needs a Tyson Fury to put him in my top 25. I think that Tyson Fury fight needs to happen for the UK, but for boxing fans as well. I agree. That's the only thing that makes sense at this point. They don't like each other. They've talked smacked about each other for a long time. We have seen them bash each other's careers. It only makes sense for boxing fans, bro.
Yeah. 100%
It only
agree. And
makes
think about
sense.
this, bro. AJ's exit out of boxing could be 100 million against Jake Paul, 100 plus million against Fury for the first fight, and we know they're going to do a second fight as well. So he could exit the sport, last 3 fights, netting up to 500 million. That could be insane, man.
All right, so let's end it on this topic because this fight is silly. All right, so if Jake Paul lasts more than 6 rounds, what can we say about Jake Paul?
Hey, if Jake Paul lasts 6 rounds, bro, I'll shave my head. I swear I will, bro. You'll see it on live. No, bro, there's no way. I would, at this point in time, we'll have to respect his skills, for sure. But as skilled as he is, I just really don't believe it's at the point where, again, he's challenged Canelo. He's challenged all these different people. I've seen this guy box. You've watched boxing too. I just don't think his skills are at elite world level boxing level. Like Anthony Joshua, even at age 36. Again, this is not a 58-year-old Mike Tyson. AJ's boxing skills will be far superior to you. I just don't see Jake Paul going past round 1 with AJ. Not a chance. And if he does, I'll put my hand up and say I was extremely wrong, but I just don't think that there'll be a scenario in which I'm doing that.
Yeah, and let's finish off this. So if Jake Paul loses this fight, right? Because it's gonna happen, he's gonna lose.
Yeah.
Who should Jake Paul call it quits, or do you think he should continue his boxing career?
Man, I think for Jake Paul, after he loses the next logical fight to me, it's the KSI fight. And again, I'm a person who I like the influencer stuff. I was a big fan of these dudes going up like KSI and all them. These guys have been calling each other out for years and years. Why not? Again, this is probably, in terms of non-elite level boxing, this is the biggest boxing fight that you could make. If you are looking at it again, KSI, biggest British YouTube content creator, against Jake Paul, probably one of the biggest USA content creators. That would be a mega fight where both guys would come away. I'm honestly confident saying probably come away at 50 plus million, even potentially 100 million plus each because of how big their names are.
Yeah, that fight's gonna blow up. And you know what? I got KSI winning that, son.
Give me KSI too, bro. I'm with you there.
Give me KSI, bro. KSI had a good fight against Tommy Fury. It wasn't that bad. That was more entertaining than Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury. So give me KSI, man. All right, let's move on, bro. I want to get into the Eubank and the Conor Benn too, which is taking place. Bro, this is one of the biggest rivalries going on right now. This is personal vendetta against each other. If you guys are boxing fans, all right, you know Eubank Sr., all right, and then Conor Benn's father, right? They've had a long history, all right, one of the greatest rivalries in boxing history. But this history, bro, is gonna be one hell of a fight, man, because the last fight we saw was really good, really close. Um, what do you think is gonna happen in this fight? And do you think Eubank Jr. comes out on top again, or you think Ben makes a case?
Man, it's gonna be another good fight. Like this Eubank and Ben rivalry, like again, it goes back to their fathers. Chris Eubank Sr. against Nigel Benn. That was all the way back. They fought twice, and then now their sons are fighting for the second time. Like this is, there's a reason why they call this fight unfinished business. Like the title of the fight, that's literally what it is. And I'm interested to see how it's going to go because I'm looking at Chris Eubank Jr. He's got Bomac, Terrence Crawford's trainer in his corner for this fight. They're 1-0 in rematches. And then now you've got, what do you call it? Conor Benn. He looks like he's a lot bigger and more comfortable at this weight the second time round. And again, like, bruh, there's heat on this fight where both guys, obviously the first fight was so close. Both guys are going to want to make a stamp here. And I think there will be a stamp. I just don't see this fight going the distance at all. I think either Eubank pours it on him early doors and starts to put a lot of pressure on him earlier rather than later compared to the first fight, or I see Conor Benn being adjusted to this new weight class now and taking his head off, So I'm confident saying the fight won't go the distance. Give me Chris Eubank Jr. since they're 1-0 with Bomac. Give me that.
Yeah, give me Chris Eubank Jr. as well. I do like Conor Benn. But just like his pops, man, Eubank Jr. he comes out swinging, bro, and he's a crash out. I think if Ben can't stay in the pocket, if Ben can't roll off Eubank's punches, I think it's over within the seventh round. I don't think it goes to the fully 12. But it's a great history. Let me ask you this. So is this rematch going to settle the rivalry once and for all, or just add more drama? So you think there could be a chance for three?
Hey, bro, if Eubank wins this fight, I think more than likely he might retire because he's age 36. If Conor Benn wins, oh man, we are for sure seeing the trilogy. I think because you can't end it at your father's had the first fight where the Chris Eubank Sr. won, then the second fight I believe was a draw. Then you have a Eubank winning, and then you have a Ben winning. So this whole series overall would be tied. You'd have to have the trilogy. So for the sake of this, ending, I love it, but also want to see it get closed. Eubank, please, I beg, win this fight so we can, close this chapter of a rivalry.
So both sons are boxing legends, right? You talk about that, right? So how much do Chris Eubank Sr. and Nigel's Ben legacy play into this right now?
Massive, massive. Because you gotta imagine it, bro. Like, it's one thing to, hey, have your dad as your hero. But yeah, your dad was a hero, and now he's in a rivalry with, again, another dude's like, so you are fighting for your family's legacy. And given how successful they were, you don't want to let your dad down. Like, he was a world champion. I want to be a world champion. I'm not trying to lose. So it's massive. Those names, I think, is what also helps sell this fight. It's going to be big, man. And both their dads will be ringside, I think, the same as they were in the first fight. So that's another element of pressure.
You know what the funny thing is, bro? Conor Benn, man, and we both don't have him winning this fight. Bro, he's been on some type of victory tour and he lost the fight. That's the funny part. I thought it was funny how he was like he went to the States, right? He was talking about how he's like humble and how he's like, good to be here. And I'm like, Chris Banks Jr. says it. He's like, bro, why are you on this victory tour? You remember who lost the fight? And I'm like sitting here trying to analyze it, and it's true. Like Ben is very confident going into this fight. Do you think he has changed his game plan for this upcoming fight, or do you think we're gonna see the same result as last time?
I think he's changed his game. I think both guys have changed their game because I actually think both guys underestimated each other, in my opinion. I definitely do think so because I think Conor Benn's belief was that, but actually both of their beliefs were that I'm just going to run through this guy. Because Chris Eubank was like, this guy's smaller than me. And then Conor Benn was saying, this guy doesn't have a chin. I think they both underestimate each other. They both are going to be way more improved than they were compared to the first fight. You see that they both made changes to their camps going into this fight as well. Bruh, I think that's why I'm very confident saying, yeah, I think we get a finish in this fight. No, I don't think it goes the distance.
Yeah, it doesn't go the distance, man. We both agree. We got Chris Eubank winning.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be a good fight, guys. That fight happens tonight, man. And y'all tell us y'all thoughts. All right, we definitely gonna have more opinions on it. But what you got? So what are you saying? So you saying Eubank Jr. Which round?
Give me Eubank Jr. round 7.
Round 7. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, how about you?
All
What you
right.
got?
I got round 7 too. I got round 7
Okay, we
too.
on. Okay, let's
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
Let's
yeah,
go.
yeah, yeah. I like what we thought. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, I got him around 7 too. All right. So we got another big fighting event. This is the big fighting week. We got UFC 322. Guys, Islam Makhachev versus Jack Della Maddalena. All right, and then of course we got that big fight card, the woman fight card, Valentina Shevchenko versus Zhang Weili. I'm excited about that fight. So let's talk about that fight, right?
Yeah.
Valentina Shevchenko versus Zhang Weili. Both are arguably the goats of their division. Valentina is a dog, bro. You've seen her history. You've seen what she could do.
Yeah.
She makes for the last 4 or 5 years, we've been questioning who is the next opponent for her, and if we can't find somebody for her, this weight class doesn't get watched. It was a boring weight class, and Valentina has moved up several times. Do you think Valentina beats Zhang Weili this fight?
Bruh, I'm taking Magnum Zhang Weili to become a double champion. And at that point in time, the only person that should be behind in the GOAT debate for women's MMA is Amanda Nunes. Give me Zhang Weili because I truly just believe Zhang Weili, the way that she has been fighting over these last 2, 3 years, since that loss to Rose Namajunas, she has been a monster. And again, I know that's a division below, but her mindset, her mentality, when she's in the octagon, she is like possessed. And it's so crazy. You compare that to her outside the octagon. She's the nicest person, always smiling, trying to learn English. It's so cool to see her. And then you're like, bro, what am I seeing when she steps into the octagon? I truly believe that this is her real weight class, and I think she could be stronger than ever, motivated than ever. And I'm just looking at Valentina's, I'm also looking at Valentina's age more than anything else. I'm saying to myself, listen, I saw her against Alexa Grasso. She's beatable. I saw her lose. But also Zhang Weili's beatable. But I just truly believe momentum is on Zhang Weili's side. So give me Magnum Zhang Weili 2-weight world champion.
Bro, we've been agreeing a lot today. I'm gonna go with Zhang Weili too. She is just her time, bro. Zhang Weili put on one of the greatest fights I've ever seen versus oh
Joanna, the
man.
MJ chick?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. That was a bloodbath. I never seen someone take a beating like that. And I think Weili is just it's her punches, bro. She has one of the hardest right hands in the UFC right now. And I think she has a good chin. She is somebody that has great endurance. I don't know how Valentina Shevchenko is going to be able to overcome that endurance that Weili has, and going to be able to dodge that right hand. If Valentina can stay away, if she can stay away from Weili's right hand, I think we have a fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, man. I would say I would be stupid to say Valentina is gonna win the fight. I just think Zhang Weili is someone that is just dangerous to be in the ring with, and I think it doesn't go the distance. I think we're gonna see a KO. We're gonna see a
Oh,
KO.
you calling KO?
Yeah, I'm calling KO. I'm calling KO.
Oh,
Weili is
okay.
a
Okay.
problem. Weili is a problem, bro. She is a problem, and I don't think Valentina Shevchenko dealt with some. Yeah, she fought Amanda Nunes. We can
Mm,
argue that fight too. Who really won
yeah.
that fight? We can argue that. But I just think Weili is faster. I think she's quicker, and I think she just has dynamite hands, bro. And I think that's gonna be a big test for Valentina. And Valentina's a lot. She's older. She's
Uh-huh.
slower. I just don't see it going the distance. I don't think she's gonna be able to keep that pressure off Weili
Mhm.
for a long time. So I got a knockout.
Oh,
Knockout.
we are
I
freaking
got a
history because
knockout.
I don't think she's ever been knocked out. So I like the confidence. I like the bold prediction. I like it.
So let me ask you this. So the Valentina Weili fight, right? Which legend will solidify GOAT status with this fight?
In terms of being the best women's MMA fighter of all time,
As of right now.
or it's more so on Valentina's side, I'd say, because Valentina, I think, has defended that strawweight title 8 times, I believe it is, which is insanity. And if she wins this fight, she ties Amanda Nunes for most title fight wins for women's mixed martial artists in the UFC. So I'd say it's more so on Valentina's side. If Valentina wins, oh yeah, she's now. You could make a case that her and Amanda Nunes would be tied on that woman's GOAT mountain, especially considering that second fight was so close. So I would say, yeah, Valentina's got probably, yeah, the most in a way to gain. But in saying that, two-weight world champion's got a nice ring to it because I think it's only Amanda is the only women's champion to do that. I'm pretty sure. So it's a lot, but I'm gonna say Valentina. Valentina purely because she ties Amanda with the wins in championship fights.
Okay, okay. I like
Mm.
that answer. Okay. So let me ask you this. Who has the bigger story in women's co-main event? So Shevchenko's defending her dominance or Weili reclaiming her legacy?
Man, Weili chasing greatness is something else. Like Weili, because I think you sort of got to think about this. Ever since that Weili second fight where she lost to Rose, I think a lot of people started to sleep on her. 'Cause people went, "Oh, this girl's overrated." Like and then I think a lot
Yeah.
of people sort of started sleeping on it. And then after that, she just came back against Joanna and just put Joanna into the ground. After that first fight, that was so close. She just put Joanna into the ground. I'm pretty sure it was that fight. And then from that point on, she has just been a savage, just going through everyone. So I think her going to get the second belt would be essentially she's Magnum, like Magnum, Zhang Weili,
Yeah.
unbreakable. This is the big fight for her. So I think it's big time for her. I think getting that legacy, that second belt would be insane.
Okay, so you have Weili winning the fight. Give me your final prediction. What happens?
Give me Weili by decision. I think Valentina. I think Valentina's never been knocked out. She's only been submitted one time. I can't see her getting knocked. I just can't see Valentina getting knocked out. Maybe I'm being a little bit biased. I do love Valentina a lot too, but I just can't see her
Me
getting
too,
knocked out.
bro. Me too. We said the
So give me a
same thing
decision.
about Masvidal. We said the same thing about what happened. What happened? What happened? All right.
You're gonna see a
Said
hero
the
sleep
same
at some
thing.
point, man.
Yeah. So all right. So now we have the big main event, right? We have Islam Makhachev versus Shaq Della Maddalena, right? So let me ask you this: Is Islam on track to be better than Khabib?
Damn, it's hard to be better than Khabib, man. 29-0, like damn. I know Islam's only lost once, but still, it's hard to beat that 29-0. But also, Khabib was never a two-weight world champion, and also Khabib never tied Anderson Silva's UFC record, most wins in a row, which Islam can do if he beats Jack Della. So I'll be real here. If Islam beats Jack Della, I will say I'm happy to put him above Khabib because it would be just insane. 16 straight wins, two-weight world champion. Yeah, I would be more than happy to put him above Khabib after that, man. How about you?
Um, I don't know if I could do that. I don't know. And the
Oh,
reason why I
okay.
say I don't know if I could do that, man. I like Islam a lot. I think um, what he did to Volkov, Alex Volkov was legendary. He made Volkov. He
Oh,
made
Volkanovski.
Volkov
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah, Volkanovski. Sorry, guys. Yes,
yeah.
Alex Volkanovski. That fight, man, was impressive. And I think after that fight, I kind of see the argument where we can make a case can he be better than Khabib? But just the way Khabib went out, I think 29-0, I think that's legendary, and I just think he wasn't going to be beaten if he stayed in the UFC. I don't think they had a challenge for him. Of course, we say the what ifs, what if he would have stayed, but I think someone like Khabib, his legacy can't easily be erased. Islam doesn't make a case though. If he can continue what he's doing in these two divisions, I think it's gonna be scary hours, and I think we're gonna have to make some new arguments, man. We're gonna have to move some people off the Mount Rushmore. We're gonna have to see what happens. But I think after this fight with Jack Della, I think we'll decide who is where he's going on this path. But I'm not gonna say it's a bad question. We just gotta see what's gonna happen, I think.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
let me ask you this. If he loses to Jack Della, does it shake up the lightweight division?
In terms of, because Islam, man, I don't know. Islam at that point in time, right now, going down, because Taporia is lightweight champion, right? Can Islam go back down and get his belt? I think, man, because you can't stay at welterweight, right? If you lose, I think you have to go back down. Because what would the point be for Islam, in my opinion? This is the thing with these going up fights now, especially with going up with no belt, as they do now. It's sort of all or nothing. Like if you lose, you are just stuck in no man's land a little bit. So I think that's why there's so much pressure for these guys now. I think if he there's more of a shake-up if he wins than if he loses. If he loses, I think the welterweights are just going to go about it the same way that they were going to. But if he wins, I mean, all these dudes on this card, you've got Prates against Edwards, you've got Brady vs Morales. Islam's already said he wants to fight Kamaru Usman, so I'm like, damn, there's more of a shake-up if he wins than if he loses, because a lot of these guys who thought they were about to step in and get a shot next, yeah, all step aside because he wants that legacy fight against Usman. So I'd say more of a shake-up if he wins than if he loses.
Okay. All right, I like that, bro. And let me ask you this. So, do you think that is even you think Usman should take that fight against Islam? Do you think that's even a good idea for Usman at this point in time?
Bruh, I love Usman, but man, I don't want to see Usman against Islam because, bruh, Islam's a different breed, bro. I know Usman looked good against Joaquin Buckley, but Joaquin Buckley, yeah, he's not the number one pound for pound fighter in the world. He's not Islam. So Islam at this version of Usman, I think Islam beats him quite easily.
Yeah.
With all due respect.
Yeah. Yeah, with all due respect. Yeah. All right, bro. Let me end off with this question. What would Islam's legacy look like if he becomes champion again? So we talked about him possibly being in that GOAT conversation. But as of right now, let's leave that GOAT conversation alone. As of right now, what does that look like if Islam becomes a champion again?
Man, if he becomes a champion, easily number one pound for pound fighter in the world right now for sure. For sure. I think there would be, man, you would have to, again, if I'm looking at present time pound for pound number one, all time, you could even say top five. I'll be real. You could genuinely say top five.
Yeah.
Just because, bro, it's just insane what he would have done. Double champ, tied Anderson Silva winning streak. Yeah, I would have to give him some respect, man. Even more respect than I already do.
Yeah, no, I would have to give him respect. Yeah. All right, so guys, we might as well do it right now. Just Heat coming at you where we give you the top five, any random top five of a sport. But we doing the UFC, man. So P gave us a dope list. P, can you tell us the top five you came up with?
Alright, so my top five was top five UFC fights at Madison Square Garden. Obviously, because UFC 322 at Madison Square Garden, I assume we will see some more classics. But let's look back a little bit, reminisce, man. Give our top fives of what we think are the best fights at the Garden so far in the UFC. All
Yes,
right.
sir. Bro, you want to go first?
Let me kick it off, man. Let me kick it off. So,
Go ahead,
listen,
go ahead.
at my number 5, I've gone TJ Dillashaw and Cody Garbrandt, their first fight at Madison Square Garden. I went with this because of the hype, the build-up, they hated each other because of the whole team
The beef.
Dillashaw goes down at the end of round 1. You think he's about to get knocked out round 2. No, he knocks out Cody Garbrandt in the second round. That's my number 5. Then, at my number 4, I went with the man who got KO'd by Jake Paul, Tyron Woodley versus Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Also, Madison Square Garden. That first fight, Wonderboy was getting dominated, and then at the end of the fight, he nearly won the fight himself. And again, it ended up being a very close decision, a tie. I think it was a split draw. Very entertaining fight. So that's my number 4. My number 3, I've gone with Israel Adesanya against Alex Poatan Pereira. Unbelievable fight. They carried the heat from their glory kickboxing days all the way into the UFC. Anticipated fight that one was. Pereira is down 3-1 going into the 5th round. Then the Hands of Stone knocks out Israel Adesanya. That's my number 3. Number 2, I have gone with GSP becoming a double champion by beating Michael Bisping. Again, GSP, the GOAT for many people, top 3 on many people's lists. That has to be on there. Then number 1, probably the most flawless performance in UFC history, Conor McGregor against Eddie Alvarez, UFC 205. Knocked him out in the second round, dropped him like 3 times. Yeah, that's my number 1, and that's my top 5 UFC.
I like that list. You know what? I was even thinking when I was making this list, I was even thinking about the Wonder Boy versus Tyron Woodley. That's a sleeper, bro. Props to you on that. That's a sleeper. All right, so I'm gonna go from 5. Actually, I'm gonna go from 1 to 5. You went from 5 to 1. I'm gonna go from 1 to 5. Number one, we got Conor McGregor versus Conor McGregor versus Eddie Alvarez. We gotta do that fight. That was dope. The beef was dope too. So I'm gonna have to put that number 2, bro. I'm gonna put Israel versus Alex Pereira up there. The beef, the legacy, you gotta put that on there. When there's a big rivalry and a big stage like Madison Square Garden, you gotta put that on there. Number 3, I'm gonna put Rose Namajunas versus Joanna Shevchenko, bro. Yes. Number 4, I'm gonna go Michael Bisping versus George St. Pierre. All right, of course, that's a legendary fight. And then number 5, bro, which is probably one of my favorite fights, Dustin Poirier versus Justin Gaethje.
Oh, okay.
One of the greatest fights I've ever seen. That was a bloodbath. That fight for me, that would make sense if somebody became a UFC fan that day. That was an incredible fight. That was an incredible fight. Yeah.
That's a good top 5 rolling here. We got some good top 5s rolling here, man. I'm happy with this.
And then then we got another one. All right, so our second one is top 5 viral first round knockouts. All right, that went viral on social media. All right, I'm gonna go first for this one.
Here you go. Kick it
I'm
off.
gonna start. I'm gonna start 5 to 1. You go 1 to 5. All right. So at 5, I got Sean O'Malley versus Thomas Almeida. You don't remember it? Bro.
Yeah, I remember. Follow-up punch on the ground. Yeah, I remember.
Follow-up punch on the ground. And then number 4, I don't know where I was going to move this. I was either going to put this 3 or 4. Number 4, I got Francis Ngannou knocking out Alistair Overeem. That was a brutal knockout. No, that was probably the scariest thing I've ever seen. All right. I'm debating where I got that at 4. All right. Number 3, I got Ronda Rousey versus Beth. All right. I don't know if you remember that fight. 34 seconds. That's when Ronda Rousey was at her peak. All right. Number 2, I got Conor McGregor knocking out Jose Aldo. All right. That was one of the craziest fight stories. I know y'all remember. That's probably when I became a bigger UFC fan. That was a crazy story, and the way he knocked that dude out, a legend. Jose Aldo is a legend in a lot of people's books. He's on a lot of people's Mount Rushmores. That has to be in the top 5 for me. And then the number one, the one that went viral, yo, Jorge Masvidal knocking out Ben Askren. Come on now.
I figured.
Come on now.
I love the list.
Come on
I
now.
love the list. I knew
Come
that
on
our
now.
top 2. I knew our top 2 was gonna be the exact same. It's just the only thing that we've got the different order. That's it. Because my top 5, my number 1, I went with McGregor vs. Aldo because, bruh, this was the beef, the rivalry, everything. We had 9 months of promotion for a 13-second knockout. That's my number 1, McGregor KOing Jose Aldo. My number 2 is your number 1, Jorge Masvidal. Within 5 seconds, the flying knee on Ben Askren. Bro, John Anik didn't even get to finish his opening monologue for the fight before the fight was done. That's how crazy it was. So that's my number 2. My number 3 is going to shock a lot of people. Anderson Silva against Forrest Griffin. Go look this one up, people, if you've not seen it before. Absolutely outclassed in first round. Slip, bang, right hand, KO'd him.
Yeah.
That's my number 3. My number 4 is the exact same as you. I thought someone had passed away when this happened. When Ngannou knocked out Alistair Overeem. That left hand uppercut, bro, one of the scariest things I've ever seen. That's my number 4. And my number 5, the head kick head around. Actually, no, that was not the first round. I'm going to have to change it. That was not first round. So I'm going to go with Nunes versus Rousey instead. Because I was going to say Holy Holm against Rousey. Then I quickly realized that was in the second round. So give me Nunes versus Rousey purely because of who Rousey was at that point in time. Amanda Nunes just disrespected it, walked her down, and it was just punch after punch after punch. It was, domination like I'd never seen before. So give me that as my number 5.
Yeah, I like that list. Nunes was a dog. Nunes, if y'all don't got Amanda Nunes on y'all Mount Rushmore when it comes to combat sports or UFC, we can't talk. Nunes is a dog, man. Nunes is a dog. All right, so bro, let's talk NBA. All right. And this week is kind of interesting. I kind of want to start off with Anthony Davis. Because I think that's where we got to start off at, bro. And, I want to ask you this because we're hearing rumors, right, about Dallas potentially putting him on the trade block, which I think is crazy to talk about. So if Dallas trades AD, is this the end of an era or freeing the team for the future?
Man, it is freeing the team for the future. All the Dallas fans got their wish this week. Fire Nico is finally a reality, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I love AD, but, bro, a dude came in 270 pounds. Nearly, Hey, but AD, I'm sorry, bro. The Mavs, these dudes didn't even want AD. Like, I'll be real. They wanted Luka to still be there. I don't think there was any plans for AD to actually be there. And I'm looking at this team right now. You're 3-10. You're not really going anywhere. Do you think Kyrie's going to change things for you? Probably not. He's probably not coming back this season at all. If I'm Dallas, man, just let's start this whole thing again around Cooper Flag. AD, I'm sorry, bro. You might have to go out there, get some expiring contracts, go out there, get some picks, and just because again, this next upcoming NBA draft is going to be stacked. So why not get Cooper Flag a partner in crime who matches his timeline? But yeah, AD, I'm sorry, bro. You got to go, man.
Yeah, man. With this last injury, dog, it's like, when are you gonna hang it up? And like, I understand, right? When AD is healthy, AD is top 10, right? We can put a healthy AD is a top 10 player in the NBA. I don't care what nobody says, but When is the last time we seen a healthy AD? Yes, what? A couple years ago, I think his last year with the Lakers, we saw a healthy AD. That's probably the healthiest we saw. What, 60 something games, 70 games? And I think is what we'll ever see from AD. But I think it comes to time and point where you kind of question yourself, dude, I'm 32 years old. I played probably 3 or 4 good seasons. I haven't really gave a team my all. I'm always on the injured list. Teams are not really worried about me anymore. When you question yourself and is it time for me to hang it up? Am I going to be valuable for a team? Am I going to be able to be reliable for a team? AD has to really ask himself these questions. And we're not questioning his skill set. We're not. We need availability, bro. And I think that's where you kind of have to ask yourself, like, and I want AD to ask himself, is this it? Because this might be an Achilles injury, bro. And who knows what's going to happen? Who knows what's going to happen with AD? So I personally believe that AD should think about retiring, man. And I don't think it's fair for Dallas, especially with Nico Harrison getting fired and that crazy move he did with Luka Doncic and that big whole chaos. I don't think AD should be the one that the Dallas should rely on. And I think the Mavericks need to get rid of him, to be honest with you. And I don't think it's going to be something beneficial for Dallas to keep him around. And if I'm Dallas, I'm moving AD. And I'm going to try to get something better to where it's going to be beneficial for me and beneficial for the team. And I think Cooper Flag is something they need to build around. He's young. He's the youngest player in the NBA. He's talented. And I think that's where the Mavericks need to go. Yeah. Yeah, you're good. Don't worry. You can hear me, right?
Yeah.
All right. Are you going to use your mic?
Yeah, I got this one here.
Oh, you got this one. All right. Cool. Don't worry. So let me ask you this. Is Anthony Davis's body too broken to compete at the elite level?
Man, I think he's just gone through too much at this point, bro. Like, you think about it, what do they say? You limp through your 20s, you're going to limp through your 30s, man. And AD, even in New Orleans, there was always these little injuries with the groin injuries, ankles, always lower body injuries, man. And I'm looking at it in his age 32 season and the fact that now he's coming even a little bit more overweight. I think he might be a little bit broken now, bro. I honestly do. Like, to be the AD that we know, I think that time is past him, because again, age 32 now, man, I don't believe anymore. I don't think he can be that same version that's there for you all the time.
Yeah, I think it's over. So if AD retires, does he deserve that top 75 list that he was on?
He man.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Bruh. I will give it to AD. Let me give it to AD.
AD's top 75?
He would have to, I'd say so. Because think about it like this. So let's go top 75. We're looking at the best 15 players, just at face value, is the best 15 players at each position. AD to me is a top 15 power forward of all time. Has to be. So to me, he's top 75. If we're taking it like that. If we start mixing in all the greats, regardless of position, then maybe it's a little bit tricky. But still, I would be comfortable with AD being top 75. He's that good. He's had a career where, again, won the championship. He's been all the way back for his teams.
AD is top. So you have AD where in the top power forwards? You have him in the top 15?
No, I have top 10.
No way.
I
No
do.
way.
I do.
Let me
I do.
no way. Let me hear that list. No
Okay,
way.
so I don't have it in front of me here, but okay, go something like this. We got Tim Duncan, Giannis is there, Karl Malone is there, Charles Barkley is there. I think I have who else do I have on my list there? Kevin Garnett, Dirk Nowitzki. Then I'd probably be saying Anthony Davis is there as well.
What about Moses Malone?
Moses Malone's the center.
Was he a center? Yeah, he was.
You could say Kevin McHale. You could put Kevin McHale in front of AD, but still, AD would be in my top 10. It would be in my top 10.
You
Bob
might
Pettit
be right.
could be in there as well. Actually, no, Bob Pettit is in there as well. But Bob Pettit, center or power forward? Yeah. So either way, AD would be in my top 10. Whether he's 10, 9, 8, he is in my top 10.
But you know what gets me upset though? That AD's on the 75 and Dwight Howard's not.
See,
That's what I'm
gets me.
asking you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm asking you. Is there's no way this dude makes a list and that over Dwight Howard. Like AD only played 3 to 4 good years.
To me, it should have been again. I think AD had a little bit of a case. Damian Lillard should not have been on there at all. No chance. Yeah. So I think I'm more upset at Dame being on there than I am AD. Purely because AD had won the championship, had been multiple times All-NBA first teams, and on that championship run, he was leading his team in scoring. You know, he was that good of a player. Whereas Dame, it's more of an argument to me to take Dame out and put Dwight in. Dwight should have been in there, regardless, you know. But yeah, AD, I have no problems with him being on there. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So could Dallas get? Because so Dallas trades. Let's say Dallas trades AD, right? What can Dallas get in return?
Man, you're probably looking at a elite, actually not elite, mid-level sort of star player who's a borderline all-star. Then you're looking at maybe 1 or 2 role players and then some picks. If I'm Dallas, I want picks. That's what I want. Because again, I feel like get some people that you can stack around Cooper Flag. Because Cooper Flag has to be the new face of the franchise, man. Again, I think that's who you build around and get him some dudes who match his timeline. Like you see what the Spurs have done with Wemby. If I'm the Dallas Mavericks, I want to get that. I want to get some young guys, maybe some vet pieces in there too, but some guys who match my guy. And if you believe in Cooper Flag that much, AD should be able to get you some good picks in return that you can go out there, draft well, which I believe they can. And then, develop a new contender because AD, I'm sorry, man. You're just, nah. I'm sorry.
No. And so where do you think an AD destination could be?
Hey, they're talking a little bit about him going home to Chicago. They said Chicago could be a destination because, again, Vucevic, expiring contract. They've got a couple of expiring contracts there, some picks. That could be a destination right there. Who's a team? Maybe Boston?
What about your Pistons?
No. No, I don't want AD, bro.
No?
I don't want it. Bro, we just talked about it. I do not want a 32-year-old who misses a ton of games. Like, I would rather, again, we are fortunate right now. We're on a 9-game winning streak. I would rather, if, let's say, for example, we start losing, I'd rather lose with the young guys and let them keep developing than win with AD when I know AD is like a volcano, bro. He could just, he just erupt at any point in time, literally, you know? So we could go from having you on the court for 10 games straight, averaging like 30 and say, AD, best player in the league, to all of a sudden, we're not seeing AD until next year, you know? So I'm not trying to be with that, man.
Yeah, for me, I would say the Bulls, it makes sense. Or just like a team that's, you know, not really like they're building, but they have some time, like the Kings.
Yeah.
You know, I would say the Kings or maybe the Pacers. But I don't see. I don't want to see AD on the Knicks. I don't want to see him on a team that's trying to win this year because he's not reliable. He's not reliable. But AD is AD when he's himself. So I can't discredit that. I can't discredit that. So let me ask you this last question on the Dallas Mavericks. Nico Harrison was just fired. I think the world is happy about that. Do you think Nico Harrison has a chance of being hired again as a GM. Do you think there is a chance for him to get another chance in the NBA?
He'll get another opportunity. It's going to be a long time before that happens, but he'll get another opportunity. The reason I say that, he's built equity with a lot of people. Nico Harrison was a Nike rep before. He'll get a connection somewhere. He'll be assistant GM first. My conspiracy theory is I think he's going to become assistant GM for the Lakers, because him and Rob Pelinka are friends. But then I realized, not really, because Luke is
Come on, dog.
He can't go back. He can't go back. Yeah, take that away. Take that idea away. Yeah, he'll be back, but it'll be a long time. I would say at least 5 to 10 years before he's back in a GM role.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on, man. So Steph Curry left Under Armour. Bro, when I saw this, I thought it was crazy because Steph, I think, has been on Under Armour for at least 13 to 14 years. Obviously, he's their biggest star. Bro, now that he's left, where do you think his next brand is? Or do you think he will build his own empire?
Man, I think he might do the solo build your own empire, because I've been listening to a couple of interviews that Steph's been doing over the last couple of months, and the word that he keeps on mentioning to me is, mentioning is equity. Like, he wants equity in all these things, because I think the one example that he kept on talking about was the Golden State Warriors. He started at the Golden State Warriors. They were like a $200 million, $300 million franchise. Now their Golden State Warriors team is a $10 billion franchise. Steph never got a cent of that money. Obviously, he got paid his contract money, but still, their brand went up a lot because Stephen Curry and that team were winning championships. So I think he wants to get equity in this next sort of deal. And I think going solo might be the way to go. Go out there, build your own brand. It's all you, Curry brand. Obviously, you might need a main sort of someone to be part of that. Maybe it's a Nike, but I think he wants to be his own boss in a way. And I think it wants to be all Curry brand solo. So I think he's going to go his own way.
Yeah, I think it makes sense at this stage. And he is, Steph Curry, this sounds crazy, but Steph Curry is more popular than LeBron in some countries. So I think he has the ability to do and make his own brand. I think it's going to sell out just like Jordan's. No, not just like Jordan's do, but like it would be one of those top brands, I think. Yeah. But it would be crazy, bro, just if you saw him on Nike.
Bro,
imagine him on Nike, bro.
Hey, but think about it. Who's the reason why Stephen Curry's not with Nike? Our boy, Nico Harrison.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh, bro, but I did catch him. So the 49 point game that he had last night. He was rocking some Kobe's though. That was kind of interesting to see. So who knows, man? But I think you're right. I think he is gonna do his own thing. I think it makes more sense for him as well. So, all right, let me ask you this. Is this the smartest business move of Curry's career, or is it a gamble?
Ooh, it's a little bit of a gamble. Like, the best example I think of is Roger Federer. Because Roger Federer, I think, was also a Nike athlete. And then Roger Federer went his own way, created his own brand, developed it. And now his brand is massive. And again, at the point in time, it was a gamble, but he was able to take that gamble because Roger Federer, was set for life either way. Steph, I think, is in the same boat. He's set for life either way. And I think he's going to chase this thing down and try and make it big time. And I think there's an example out there in Roger Federer. So it's a bit of a gamble, but I think he's in a position financially where he can afford to take this gamble. And again, Stephen Curry, I hope he succeeds with this. It would be so cool if it did go off and blow up, and became something crazy. So I hope he does. I hope he does. He does succeed.
And before we leave this topic about the chef, so we saw this man drop 49. We've seen Steph do some crazy things this year. He's 37 years old, right? The Warriors are not the Warriors as they were in 2020 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18, and 19 as well. And even that when they won in 2022.
Yeah.
We see these legendary performances from Steph. Can Steph make another MVP run this year? Are we seeing that from Steph Curry?
Nah, Steph is not winning another MVP. With all due respect to Stephen Curry, he is not winning another MVP because look at the way Nikola Jokic is playing. Look at the way Shea is playing. Look at the way Giannis is playing. Look at the way Luke is playing. They are just so, again, their levels, with all due respect to 37-year-old Stephen Curry, their levels are above this version of Stephen Curry.
Yeah.
And more. Because Steph, again, I know he's dropped 46 back-to-back games, but before that, he had dropped, I think, 11 and 16. It was not the greatest scoring, whereas these other guys, Jokic just dropped 55, then he dropped 35, then he dropped... These guys, what they're doing, it's not the same as competing with LeBron for MVPs or Harden for MVPs. These guys are on a whole other level, and I just feel like for Steph, his team success is not there, but then most importantly, the individual levels that these guys are on, I'm sorry, Steph, I love you, man, but these guys are another level right now. So I think Steph is done winning MVPs.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you. So let's talk about that homie Jokic, the Joker, man. Bro, 55 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists. Bro, he is a different animal, man. And from 2018 until now, it's his league. All right, nobody's gonna argue that. People make a case for Giannis, Shea. But let me ask you this. Is Jokic's peak better than Shaq's?
Damn. Oh, Lord Jesus, that's tough. Nah. That's a bad... Oh, nah, you put me... This is a bad question. No, bro. Damn. Shaq against Jokic peak? How long do you say peak? Are you saying 3 years or just 1 year? Please say 1, bro. Oh, my God.
All right, so let's put Shaq from 99.
Yeah.
No, 99 until 2004. We'll do 5 years versus Jokic's 28. So from 2019 until now.
Bruh, I'm going to take... Give me Shaq, bro. Give me Shaq. Give me Shaq. The most dominant. Bruh, like, a dude averaged 38 and 20 in the finals. I'm sorry, I'll take that guy. Give me that guy. And again, I'm going to try to disrespect Jokic here, but... Bro, Shaq, especially that 2000 year. I know Jokic was insane some of these years, but 2000 Shaq is, you could say, the greatest individual season, top 3 individual season of all time. That's how insane Shaq was. And he carried that domination through the playoffs and most importantly, the finals. So I'll say, give me Shaq over Jokic, on the all-time list and for peaks right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a possibility of Jokic passing Shaq?
Yeah. If Jokic wins another MVP and another championship, I'll put him above Shaq. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Are you solid? Is Shaq your Jokic gonna get past him, or what would it take for you to put?
I just don't. I think it takes. Man, okay. Jokic has 3 MVPs. He has a case right now. All right. It's just the dominant Shaq. Shaq was so dominant. You literally couldn't guard the dude, and his footwork. His footwork is so underrated, bro. So underrated, and I think in his era he went against more tougher big men. And I love Jokic's game. I think what Jokic is doing, obviously Jokic is a great scorer, a great passer. Do we see him being defensive sometimes? Yes, he has his here and theirs. But Shaq is just in a class of his own, dog. Yeah. I don't know. I don't see. No, I think there's a chance. Because that would sound stupid of me of saying Jokic definitely has a chance. If he gets another MVP, which it looks like he might be getting after this 55-point game.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have to make some.
We're gonna have some uncomfortable conversations.
Some predictions. Yeah, yeah. So let me ask you this, bro. If he keeps dropping 50-point games, top 10 all time, realistically.
Yeah. I think Jokic could be top 10 all time. Like, just all players all time?
Players of all time, is he top 10?
Yeah. He could. Not for me right now, he's not top 10. For me, he's in my top 15, but he's not in my top 10. And I think my top 10 would be him winning championships, another championship, another MVP. I think puts him in the top 10. 2 more championships. Yay. Based off impact, I think, you could potentially even say top 5. I'll be real, bro.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't do that. You could genuinely make some arguments for him to be top 5 if he won 2 more championships. I'll be real.
Don't do that, bro. All right, so let me ask you this. Are we witnessing the most skilled big man?
Yeah. No, actually, no. Hakeem,
I know who you're thinking about. Hakeem.
I love Hakeem. Again, people can say that's African bias. I don't care. I love Hakeem Olajuwon a lot. I think Hakeem, to me, him and Jokic are right there for most skilled big men of all time. I think if you take either or, you're not wrong. But for me, I would go with Hakeem. The reason I say this is because look at all of our favorite players. Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, all these dudes, they all went to one person for their footwork. It wasn't Michael Jordan. It was Hakeem Olajuwon. So, hey, Carmelo Anthony went to him as well. If all these stars are going to this one guy to add elements to their game, and most recently Wemby did it as well, this guy must be on some sort of level in terms of skill. So I would say Hakeem, to me, skill-wise, I would say give me Hakeem more skilled than Nikola Jokic.
Okay. The dream. Okay, I'll give you that. All right, let's talk about these damn Clippers. 3-8. Again, we're talking about Kawhi's health. Harden, CP3. Let me ask you this, bro. In Clippers history, we've seen Clippers get great pieces to come to their team. Are the Clippers the biggest super team flop of all time?
You have to say so. I know some people would say the Brooklyn Nets, but this has to be them, man. Like the Clippers, because it's what makes it worse is what they gave to OKC and what OKC have done. Because OKC, they traded Shea to OKC, and now OKC have won the championship, are the most dominant team in the NBA right now. You look at the Clippers, they have fumbled the bag at every step of the way. 2020 in the bubble, up 3-1 on the Nuggets. They lose that series in 7. 2021, Kawhi gets hurt. And basically from that point on, it's Kawhi getting hurt every single time. So I think they have just fumbled the bag, man. Even last year when they had Harden, the year before they had Harden, Paul George, and Kawhi. You lose in the first round. I think it's been an absolute flop. I don't even blame Harden. I don't really blame PG that much. I blame Kawhi Leonard because of this era flopping, because he's just never available. But yeah, you'd have to say they're up there, if not the biggest flop of a championship, like a potential championship team.
I don't know if you're ready for this question.
Yeah.
Is Kawhi Leonard the most overrated small forward of all time?
It's starting to feel that way. I would say yes. Because think about this. Let's talk about it. Let's get a little bit messy here with Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard, when people talk about it, what do we always say? 2 finals MVPs. Okay, let's talk about your first finals MVP. That was, as we like to call it in the TikTok circles now, power of friendship team, where everyone contributed. Someone had to get it. You just so happened to get it, right? Cool. But that was not really like a dominant finals MVP, like when LeBron won it, when guys like MJ, all these dudes have won. That wasn't really that dominant. Second run, I'll give that to you, Raptors. You were absolutely out of your mind. But there's years in between there with the Spurs where you guys aren't really doing much. Then there's now with you with the Clippers, you're not really doing. The year they went to the conference finals, you were not even healthy. So I think Kawhi Leonard, bro, regular season, I know you got the 2 depoys, but there's other regular seasons that you've played and you haven't done much, you know? So I would say his resume is starting to feel like it's a little bit overrated and carried by, you know, those 2 finals MVPs and championships a lot.
Yeah. And do you think the same with AD? I'm gonna ask you this question. Do you think at this point it's time for Kawhi to retire?
It'll be close. It's close, man. Because the knees, man, like his knees are just, the quad injuries that turn into knee injuries. Now it's just a bunch of lower body injuries that I think are just, you think at some point in time, age 34 now, it's got to be calling it quits because we're not going to see the same Kawhi version, like prime version that we saw years past. No chance at all.
All right. Yeah. And if Kawhi decides to retire, I want to hear this from you. So if Kawhi decides to retire, does the Clippers legacy, does this affect Kawhi's career? And where will this put Kawhi in the top 10 for small forwards?
It should affect him. Like, I think people keep glossing over this era of Kawhi with the Clippers because of how crazy the Raptors runs were. But I feel like more emphasis needs to be put on how much of a failure these Clippers teams have been because of Kawhi Leonard. Like, honestly, I like Kawhi. 2019 run is probably one of the best we've ever seen, but this is his fault every time. He is never there, but people will gloss over it. So, yeah, I would say for his career, needs to be more scrutinized for how bad this team has been and why they haven't achieved a lot. But yeah, his Clippers legacy, I don't really think there's much. I don't think he should get his jersey retired. Should definitely not get a statue at all.
No.
They just accomplished nothing. I'm sorry, they just accomplished nothing, man. Yeah.
So where's Kawhi now on your top small forwards? Where is he now?
I have him in my top 10. Yeah, I have him in my top 10. I think I might have him in my top 5 as well. No. I don't think he's in my top 5. He's top 6 or 7. Yeah, for sure. I think so. But he's not in my top 5. I think from the top of my head, he's not my top 5.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
How about you? You have him in your top 5 or we got him?
Yeah, I have him in my top 5.
Oh, okay.
Wait. LeBron, KD, Dr. J,
Larry
Legend. Oh, Larry's top 3. Dr. J. Would
you put Kawhi in right there at 5?
He's over Scottie Pippen to me.
That's fine. Yeah.
He's over Scottie Pippen. I'm not confirming it, but he's 5. As of what I'm thinking right now, he's 5. He's 5 for sure. Okay. I think that Toronto. I think what he did in Toronto is legendary. I know the Warriors would have beat them if they were healthy that year, but still, that's legendary. I can't. 2019 Kawhi is one of the greatest seasons I've ever seen. So I have to put him at 5. Okay, so before we get off this question and we move on to our last topic, let me ask you, Chris Paul, this being Chris Paul's last season, does this season affect Chris Paul's legacy? Because we know Chris Paul, after the season, will be leaving the game. He'll be leaving ringless with a lot of other legends like Charles Barkley, AI, et cetera, et cetera. What does this say about Chris Paul's career? And do you think he's going out in a bad way?
I think in terms of how this season affects his career, I don't think that much. I know it looks like it will, but he's 40 years old. He's nowhere near the same player. I don't think it affects his legacy that much at all. But yeah, it would have been nice to see him win a ring, man. It would have been so nice to see Chris Paul win a ring. But I hate seasons like this, man, where these guys, they hang around for too long. You now see guys be a shell of what they were in their peaks. Because the one thing that annoys me the most is that me and you know what Chris Paul was. That's what we know. We know Chris Paul Hornets. We know Chris Paul Clippers. But all you're going to hear going forward when he retires, when we put Chris Paul as high as we do on those point guards lists, the first thing these younger people will say is, the dude who last year was getting DNPs, averaging 2 points per game, that's your top 5? That's what annoys me, for sure. And it just puts a little bit of a stain because people, the last memory they have of you is someone who's getting DNPs rather than someone who was 18-10 in his prime.
Yeah, man. With CP3, man, I think it's unfortunate, but I think if you are a true NBA fan, I think you're gonna know his legacy. You're gonna know what he meant to the game. Dude, he had a bunch of games where he didn't have a turnover. You know how, like, that game where he had 20 assists and no turnovers is one of the most legendary games I can remember of Chris Paul. And Chris Paul is, when he is healthy, Chris Paul is one of the best players on the floor, if not the best. And defensively, he is a great defender. He is top 5 point guards ever. Or those can say honorable mention, but we're not talking basketball if you put Chris Paul outside of a top 10 point guard conversation. That's just that can't happen.
Blasphemy.
That's blasphemy, yeah. So let's talk about our last segment, dog. So the 2026 NBA All-Star Game is gonna have a new format this year. Which is crazy, man, because I think they should have did this like 5 years ago when they decided to do the team LeBron, team this. That was good after a while. Then it got boring. Then they tried to do the East and West thing again, which there was lack of defense, lack of scoring. But let me ask you this, man. Is Team World about to embarrass Team USA?
Bruh, this Team World lineup, you can argue this is the first time in an All-Star game where we are going to see the best 5 players in the world all on the same team. We have SGA, Luka, Giannis, Jokic, and Wemby all on the same team. And then you add in guys like Alperen Şengün, Franz Wagner, Denny Avdia. This international team, I think, is coming for smoke because, I mean, listen, we have already started talking about global takeover. I think they want to complete the globe, like the international basketball is taking over the NBA. I think they're going to come out there. They want to beat these guys bad. And you remember last year's All-Star game, Wemby was taking that thing serious. Giannis is a competitor. And SGA, I think if him, Luka, and Jokic see those other two going off like that, they're going to want to be the same. So I think give me Team International to beat Team USA for sure.
Bro, call me crazy. This might be a blowout. I think the world might blow them out. Dude, when you have Jokic, you have Luka, you have Wemby, you have SGA on the same team, and they're gonna start. Those 4 players are gonna start. I just don't see. I see lobs all day. I see Wemby probably getting 50. We might see Wemby you might see a 50-point game from Wemby that game. One of them is dropping 50. But I think this is a unique format, bro, and I think this is gonna show to us that the NBA is not the US anymore. It is the world's. I think it's globally now. I think this is gonna show us, this is gonna solidify that things have changed, man. That it is an international player is the face of the league. And this is gonna solidify that, bro. But I'm curious to see what's gonna happen. Let me ask you this. Which international star will dominate this first game?
I'm gonna say Wemby. And the reason I say Wemby is because Wemby was taking that All-Star game, 2025. He was playing intense, very serious. Like, I thought Wemby would be first time, hey, thanks, I'm out here, like, I'm chilling out. Thanks for having me here. He was playing like how Giannis plays the All-Star game, this is like a regular season game. I'm trying to beat you guys, everyone, show you guys I'm here. And I think Wemby is going to try bring that same motor, same mentality, especially because these newer age players, I think they sort of know what the thing is, where it's like, American player and Jason Tatum or Anthony Edwards has to be the big time face of the league, has to be the best player. No, Wemby wants that title, and Wemby showed that mentality in the 2025 game. I think he's coming for blood. I think he's going to be the dominant player for that team.
Bro, I saw one of your videos, man, and I want to ask you, and I think this is a good question. Do you think this is the last resort for the NBA All-Star? Do you think if this doesn't work, it is over with? What is your opinion on that?
This is it, man. If this version of the All-Star game doesn't work, there is no other version that will, because this is the closest thing that you can get to Olympic basketball, international basketball. Because can you remember when we watched Serbia go up against Team USA? We watched France go up against Team USA. Those games were so intense because it felt like these players, again, you were playing for something, more than just like a regular season, like an all-star game. This, I think, is going to be the same thing, because the way that you can build this game, if you want it to really take off, build this all-star game as the words are saying, All-Star USA against the world. And these players, if you tell Anthony Edwards it's USA against the world, you think he's going to come out there and just be trying to launch 40-foot threes? Nah, I'm trying to get in there and dunk on Wemby. I'm trying to get in there and dunk on Giannis. Show them, no, this is USA's game still. So I think this is the last resort. If this can't get the players going, motivated to try, be competitive, what else can you do? Now, I don't think there's anything else that you'll be able to find that can get these players motivated.
Yeah, it's over, man. If this doesn't work out, I think this is the last resort. I think it makes sense. Smart move by Adam Silver. I think this is potential to be one of the best events, and it has the potential to be one of the worst.
I agree.
Who knows? And then the dunk contest, dog. Like, what do you think about the dunk contest? Do you think we should get rid of it? Do you think the NBA should switch it up a little bit? Do you think we should see Zion, Anthony Edwards enter to make it interesting? What do you think we should do with the dunk contest?
Yeah, for me, I think dunk contest, if we can't get big-time stars, I don't think we should have it at all. Because, all due respect to Mac McClung, he's a fantastic, dunker. He's a fantastic player as well. But, dude, I want to see stars. Remember, we used to see the Kobes, the Jordans. We saw all these big-time stars, and now we don't see anyone. We see sort of the guys who are, bench guys or really young guys. The dunk contest we all want to see is Zion, Anthony Edwards, probably one other dude. Even if the dunks are just, I'm not just say regular dunks, like 360s, let's say, for example, that have been done before, the reaction that you would get from fans would be way more, because these are stars and faces that we know. If some guy like, again, I'm not trying to be biased here, but Shaden Sharp, let's say he does a 360, the crowd is sort of like, oh yeah, great dunk, cool, But if Anthony Edwards does it, that's a star that we see on the regular. I vote for Anthony Edwards to be in the All-Star game. I want to see him be in these activities. I'll be way more hype if that's the case. So if you can't get the stars to do it, I think you need to just call it quits, man.
Yeah, man, I think you should call it quits. And I think I want to recommend the NBA not to use any more G League guys, because it's embarrassing. They come up and win these dunk contests. But we'll see, man. We'll talk more about it All-Star Week, because I have a bunch of questions that we will get on to that when All-Star Week is here, man. This has been, guys, Just the Thought Podcast, our mini-series, Just Sports Talk. I'm here with the homie, P Talk Sports. Guys, follow us, man. Like our stuff. And guys, go catch that Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn 2 in that UFC 322. Guys, it should be a dope event. Y'all know what time it is, man. I'm your host, Ray Swaby. This is the homie. We are out, guys.
Catch us later.
Yes.